What's up, guys? Raikudo here, bringing you guys a review for Naruto Shippuden episode 297. And, wow, this was a pretty awesome episode. Not so awesome in regards to any other aspects besides, like, emotion. It was somewhat action, like, somewhat in the middle, but that's not really what I'm talking about. I'm not here to talk about that. Like, this was sincerely a pretty emotional episode. But pretty much the whole idea behind it is to explain Gaara's past and what's happened with his family. And I've never heard about this part, so it was my first take on it. And come and look at it. Whoa! Gaara's dad had to make some really good, not so much good, but had to make some tough choices. We see basically Gaara's up by himself inside in the anime. Basically, they meet each other. Gaara and his dad, the Kazekage. They meet each other, blah blah blah, a little flashback. We see young Kazekage, which is not the current Kazekage, which is Gaara. So young Gaara, we see him on the village top, I guess, or a building top. We see him sitting there. And all of a sudden, there's this eye. And I'm guessing it's the Kazekage's eye, seeing that he knows the whole story and he was never there, but the eye was there. So I'm kind of associating the eye with him. So that's basically his eye, basically. And Gaara has the same thing. So yeah, most likely his dad's eye. I'm pretty sure it's the parent of everyone anyway. Anyways, just explaining that, not sure why. We do see Gaara's uncle, and at first I thought this was a girl, and mind you, never read the manga part of this yet. So I'm like, whoa, that looks like a girl. And I'm like, alright, so I come to conclusion that it's not a girl, it's a boy. He said sister, and then they kind of referred to him as I'm not sure, there's a small subtle things that I noticed, but I don't really notice, you know what I mean? Like, I know he's a guy, but yeah. Anyways, so yeah, that's kind of wondering there, but I didn't think, when he said his sister, I didn't think he was referring to the Kazekage's wife. So yeah, it took me some time to notice, but I did figure out that it is the Kazekage's wife, which is basically the guy who was trying to kill him was his uncle. His uncle was trying to kill him, and apparently he was ordered to do it. But yeah, from there, he goes crazy. Gaara goes crazy, just like, freaking Chicago comes out. I'm like, whoa, bro. And mind you, the only reason why he didn't die, most likely he could have died if it wasn't for this sand that was protecting him. I never really understood how this sand protected him. Sand protects you, automatically, nothing helping you. At first I thought it was like Shikaku, then maybe I'm like, alright, maybe it's not Shikaku, because, I think sometimes it did happen after the fact, so I was like, I'll go with the suggestion that was Shikaku, but then apparently it's coming from this love from his mom. His dad never loved him, so I guess politically, he never loved him. He's going through some tough times there, that was some tough times, because I think, Gaara's mom was a Jinchuriki, because I think they did that back then. Basically, Jinchurikis were the moms. I'm not sure why, but the moms basically were the Jinchurikis. I'm not sure why, but basically every time they had a baby, I guess the power would leak out or something. Not too sure why they did that, because they know, every time they had a baby. I'm not sure. I think so. Not too sure on that. Someone could comment saying so. Why not? Then that'd be cool too. If you can explain that. I think his mom was a Jinchuriki. Not sure why. I think it's because I kind of refer him back to Naruto. Not sure why. But anyways, if his mom isn't, that's cool too. But anyways, Gaara's Jinchuriki is a Jinchuriki. That's what happened. Basically, his mom, basically gave her chakra and kind of fused it in with Gaara, and so now the sand actually kind of protects Gaara. And so I was thinking about this, I was wondering, how does she do that? How does she know, hey, the sand's gonna be right there behind it? And I'm guessing it's sort of like Kushina and Minato. Basically, Kushina, I believe, helped restrain the Kyuubi when Naruto went in for the deal. So he got that from the help of his mom. And the Kyuubi is a big thing. And Kushina was there and fused some of her chakra and Minato's chakra inside of it. So she was there, so I guess I can see kind of reference. So I guess it is possible for it to happen. Minato was able to stop the Eight Tails. Naruto was a full-fledged Eight Tails, and Minato just stopped him. And he wasn't even there. And mind you, Nine Tails is a pretty big beast, and he was at 8 Tails, so that must be pretty crazy. And with that being said, seeing that Naruto really couldn't help him after that, couldn't help Naruto after that, he even said, like, something like that, like, don't make levels happen again, something like that. Of course, that's not what he actually said. So I'm guessing, like, possibly, maybe in the future, this won't really happen. I'm not too sure. Because, you know, in the past, you know, the past things that actually happened with the chakra being implanted in someone, I guess it kind of like faded away, and it's kind of like an effect where, you know, it lasts for some time, then it kind of fades away. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it'll actually. There's no signs of it leaving, so that's kind of cool. Like an unlimited protection shield. That's kind of cool. And thinking about that, I'm wondering if you look back at the Chunin exams, or Junin exam, I'm not sure when, but when he was fighting Lee, you remember when they were fighting and then Gaara's chakra couldn't catch up to him? Like, was that Gaara actually trying to, like, attack, or was he sitting there doing nothing? That could have been all his mom. All his mom. So it would basically be like Gaara's mom versus Lee. Like, think about it. Like, he never moved until Lee was like, you know, punched him, freaking hidden lotus, you know, Kyoken 20, whatever. So that was pretty crazy. Like when I come to think about that, that's pretty crazy. I mean, he really didn't do anything. His sand was just trying to catch up to him until he used the sand coffin. I think he used the sand coffin. Anyways, that's pretty crazy. So, anyways, that's what happened. That's what happened with the sand. And basically, no one really liked Shikaku, which is basically the tail beast inside. It's the one tails inside Gaara. The reason being because, you know, it's really kind of like destroying everything, right? And, I mean, from a political standpoint, you have to understand, like, imagine the president's daughter trying to kill people, but seeing that it's your daughter, like, obviously not on purpose, but seeing that it's your daughter, you wouldn't want to kill your own daughter, but for sake of other people, you'd be like, alright, I have to take care of her, you know? I'd have to take care of the daughter, because politically that's not wise, you know, it's, I guess, you know, you'd want the lesser bad to happen, you know, so you would take care of the good or bad in order for the lesser bad to happen instead of the good or bad, like the greater bad, like not good in the sense of, hey, it's good, but in the sense that it's bigger than the smaller bad. So you take care of the smaller bad, or you take care of the larger bad to keep the smaller bad, because you have to pick one of the two choices. So that's what happened. It was really political stunt. I could see why he did that, but it was really a hard thing to understand. So in that position, I would guess that I would just leave in order for my son's safety. So, like, that's what I would have done. That's what I've done. But at the same time, you have to understand, like, Kazekage is a strong shinobi. So he had to be there in order to protect the village. So it really came down to his choice, whether he wanted to do it for his son, leave the Kazekage position for his son, or, you know, he wanted to be the Kazekage. Yeah, so that's what happened. Everyone was mad. You know, Gaara kind of remembered. Then we had a little action scene about halfway in, a little more than halfway, and I was like, wow, really? Just a little small fight? I mean, come on. Have we ever had a Naruto episode with this full fight? Like, please? Like, can we get that? Is that possible? I'm not sure. But it was weird because I saw this fight and I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. But in the middle of it, what ended up happening is, basically, the Kazekage, the older Kazekage, Gaara's dad, uses his gold, you know, pixie dust, whatever, people refer to pixie dust, so whatever, I'll use that as a term, his sand. So you know, when I say pixie dust, I'm talking about his sand. He uses his sand and magnet dust, whatever, and collides it with, and let me mind you, the Tsuchikage's sensei, which is Mu, uses particle style, and they completely erase the existence of the sand under them, right? So basically, there's this hole under the Tsuchikage and the Kazekage, the current Kazekage and Tsuchikage, right? And so basically, what happened was Gaara's dad, the Kazekage, used his little pixie dust, and you know, Gaara uses pixie dust, and mind you, Gaara is about 75% away from the Kazekage, actually from the middle, I want to say. So some of the pixie dust and the sand fell into the inside of the hole, and then the shinobi runs right into the hole. I'm like, really? Like, come on, what sense does that make? What sense does that make? Like, why would you have the shinobi run into the hole after all the pixie dust is in there? I mean, because not like the Kazekage want to actually kill them, so I guess I could understand, but still, like, what if he's just like, you know, like, of course, that's like a tactic, he'd be lying to them. So, they're really, like, putting their hands into the Kazekage's heart, I guess. Some of them who ran into the hole. I mean, really, that's like a stupid move. Is that something I just that I looked at or found out? Because I thought that was kind of weird. But anyways, they did say before this that basically their life was like they didn't care. Like they were like it was like a normal thing. Like, hey, you can kill me. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do because I know what I'm gonna do because I am me, I guess. But in a sense, I don't know because I'm not controlling myself. But yeah, I'll tell you what I can do, and you can counter that. But I won't fight. I won't try purposely fight back. So they wanted to die, simply because they didn't have anything else to do, and they're like, hey, whatever. I want to go back to sleep. Go back to the netherworld. They referred to the netherworld. And so when they refer to the netherworld, I'm like, hey, I want to see the netherworld. Like, I want to see what's under there. Like, that'd be cool. That's like another arc for Naruto. Like, I want to see under there. Like, I'm not sure. Because then, if you go there, then kind of reminds me of Netherworld from Dragon Ball Z. I'm not gonna compare them, but yeah, that's what it reminds me of. Naruto on that Goku shiz. Anyways, so that's what happened. The little battle scene. Nothing too much. But one thing that I really want to point out is the sand that was protecting Gaara. So it was actually the same sand that protected Gaara was the same sand that actually sealed the Kazekage, Gaara's dad. It actually made a human form of, I believe, Gaara's mom. And I wonder if that was actually Gaara's mom trying to communicate to Gaara's dad. If that was, that's some freaky stuff. That is definitely some freaky stuff, okay? That was weird. That was definitely weird. Honestly, I was like, hey, why is there a huge, like, face inside the sand? Like, usually, typically, when Gaara has, like, a sand shield or something, it's just like a shield. It's not anything like a face or anything. I mean, this is like a half a body just floating. I'm like, whoa. Like, that's some Astra's Wrath stuff right there. Like, that's what they had in Astra's Wrath. So, that was pretty crazy, because typically, he doesn't have anything like any other body's parts inside. It's not even a body part that he shields himself with, just a sand wall, simply because that, I don't know. That was crazy. That was pretty crazy. But yeah, that's pretty much about it. Episode, Kazekage ends up being sealed. Gaara runs out scot-free, and I'm guessing next is gonna be Moon Tsuchikage, seeing they did fight off a little bit, and the rest of them, because the Kazekage is already finished, and I don't think anyone else fought. Any of the other reanimated team, the opposing team, who's opposing Tsuchikage, Tamari, and I did see Tamari, just a little peek at Tamari, and the current Gaara, well, the current Gaara obviously, but the current Kazekage, anyone who's opposing them didn't fight in between this battle. It was strictly just Kazekage and Gaara. So yeah, maybe that's kind of suggestion to the next battle that's gonna happen. Hopefully more fighting. Like hopefully more fighting. Like one of the fighting episodes that I personally enjoyed. I'm not gonna go off a tangent. Was whatever. I'm not even gonna say it because the video is just a review on Naruto episode 297. So whatever. I'll tell you guys that later. But anyways, peace out, have a nice day, and see you guys later.